Thank you for joining me today on this project. A friend dropped two of these chairs over to me. They do come apart, but they are rather oversized. Not much to tell you at the moment, so let's get on with it. With this chair, I have two cushions, a seat cushion and a back cushion. This is the back cushion. I've made sure that the pile is going down, and if I do that, you'll see I've already shaped the top slightly. There was an inch difference, so literally I just cut an inch down and shaped it up to the top. Always make sure that you've got your pile and your shaping going in the right direction. The seat cushions I have clipped in the back as a reminder that I start in the back and work to the front. These I haven't clipped because I don't need to, but I'll be starting at the bottom and working my way around. In this case, I cut the piping across the weave, so I've got the chevrons going up and down, popped the piping cord inside, folded it over and sewed it into place on a large stitch. The stitching that goes across is always on a small. I'm going to start here at the bottom and a few inches from the end there on a long stitch, raw edges together and sew to the corner. As I get to the corner, I'm going to cut in on the outside edge at a 45-degree angle. I have actually left it a bit late for this, but it should still work. I usually stop a little bit further back so I get a nice cut, but this should be fine. Sew in, needle down, bring it back up, lift the foot and twist everything into position. I'm going to lift the foot higher. Sometimes I have to pull it all the way back, sometimes I don't. Really depends where I came to on that clip. Drop everything down into position, sew to the next corner, clip in and on round. The top here is only slightly shaped, so I really don't need to put any clips in. The fabric will just pull into place. If it was more pronounced, I would clip. So if I'd curved the corner, I would clip around the corner, but this is such a small shaping, it won't make any difference whatsoever. Also, try to keep all your threads out over the side, then you won't have to look for so many pieces of thread when you finish and inspect your work. Although I've come to a natural end there for the piping, I'm still going to make sure that everything crosses over a good 2 inches, which it does. I'll cut that piece there. As I was cutting this back, my end fell out. Don't need to do too much there. It's long enough for that to cross over, so it'll be fine. I have in the past had to put little lengths in when this has happened. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this side back across there. This part's at right angle, so I've got a nice 45-degree angle there to cut along. And always make sure your cuts are in the same direction. So I'm going to fold that one down and I'm going to cut up like that. You do not want those going in opposite directions. It's really fiddly to repair the mess that you create. The next thing is I'm going to fold that over, and I should have a nice 1/2 inch distance from here to the end of the one on the inside, which means I've got a nice 1/4 inch seam allowance. I don't want one much bigger than that. I've shortened the stitch to one of the shortest stitches on here. Pop that down with a 1/4 inch seam allowance and sew across. Before I seal everything up, open that seam up like that, finger press it in, pop it down and double check. It's a little bit tight on the back, but I think in this application it won't really make any difference because when I pull it out it goes in quite nicely. So I'm really pleased with that. I'm going to fold that down. I always do the one that I'm coming from first. Cut that back at a 45-degree angle like that, then pop that one on top. It comes to about there, so I just need to cut a little bit off. I've overcut it in case as I pull everything in it slips in nicely, and if not I'll just take an nth off there to make it fit. Slide that under there, lengthen the stitch to the longest, open the seam up, slot that side of the piping over into place and sew down. I always do it separately. So a little bit further in, pop that back in there, see where that comes to. I've got about 1/8 of an inch to cut off. Slot that over the other piece of piping. It just evens out the ridge that's there and sew into place. Reline everything to about 1 inch on the other side. At the end of my seam is here, 1 inch back. Make sure all my threads are on that side, and I am going to sew across. And to be honest, when I hold it here, there's no gap at all, so I did quite well. Sometimes a little bit of a ripple turns into nothing, because as you firm this part of your piping up, it equalises the length that is there. The beginning of my original stitching is here, so I'm just going to go over about 1 inch, and that's secure. I'm putting the zip in. Doesn't really matter which way it goes. Pop that under there for the minute. I've got my zipper a little ways down, and I'm going to just line it up here. Make sure that the side of the zip and the raw edge run together. When that comes over, it should just about cover the teeth as a general rule. Pop that down. It's on the long stitch. Fold that over, pop that down, and sew. I'm going to pull my zip down a little bit further. Not pulling anything, just holding it. I'm going to get so far, and then I'm going to pull the zip back. Lift the foot with the needle down, pull the zipper back to the other side, pop the foot down, fold the fabric over about 1/2 inch, and sew. I'm going to make my way all the way to the other end of this length of zip. This fabric has a pile. The pile goes that way, so the next piece I want to go on, I want the pile also to go that way. I've matched the pile, and I'm going to fold that over so I remember which side I'm putting on there. Line that up with the top, move it over just a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect because it might alter anyway. Slide that underneath, fold that into place, up at an angle like that, and sew across. Fold it over, raw sides together, up at an angle, and sew across. I'm going to make my way to the zipper because I want a little bit of extra fabric over the zip so the zipper is hidden. I'm almost where the zip is. Another stitch in so my needle is down, the foot is up. Tear open your zip like that, and then slide your slider across behind the foot like you did before. Drop the foot, fold over the fabric, and sew to the end of the zipper. I'm just going to even that length out. Don't need any extra bits there. My start side's pretty good, it's just the zipper that's a bit off, so I'll cut that back. I've got nice coverage over the zip. I've made sure the pile of my fabric is going the same way. Line that up with the side of the border so it's about even. Pop that under there, forward, and then back, forward to where the zip is. I have a piece of scrap fabric here, use whatever you want. Over to the zip, keeping everything even, over the zip, and then reverse, and then forward again, all the way to the other side of the border. I've got my zip border attached here, and on this small one, the zip border is just a little bit shorter than the length, about 1 inch. Because I don't have to line anything up, I'm going to start a little bit further over, as long as I've got enough room to join everything, that's all that matters. Slide that underneath there, like that, and I'm going to sew the length of the zip border into place. I don't usually do my cushions this way. Raw edges together and sew. I'm almost at the end here, so I'm going to pop that over about 1 inch and a bit, that'd be fine. Pop that into place and sew to the corner. Shouldn't have a problem at all as I go over there. I do have a problem because I've run out of thread underneath. So I've just replaced the bobbin underneath. Just going to cut in to the corner like that, sew to the end, Now this is quite thick fabric, so I'm not going to worry too much. Sometimes I will check my corners to make sure that they are tight. Push everything down towards the back. Make sure that the fabric is out, because sometimes it gets caught up and then goes underneath the foot instead of where it should be. Pull the back of the border out, reposition that and put it down, and sew to the next corner. At the top I'm going to cut in again, sew to the corner, wind it in if you need to, that's not a problem. Lift the needle slightly, lift the foot. What happens here is I keep the border straight, roll all of that into place, and because the top is slightly curved, I'm going to roll it onto the border, just like I would on any other curved length of fabric. It's not too bad on here because it's not that much of a curve, but even so, you don't want to have that going there and that going there. Just roll it onto the top and it should go in nice and evenly. Coming into the second short side, push everything down and into place and sew. Always make sure your border goes across the top or across the front without any joins on. I knew that I would have to join this. So I'm just coming into this area here. I'm adding the side piece on. I do have the pile going in the same direction. You don't have to because it's right down inside the side of the chair. I've already gone forward and back to start off with, and I'm going to go straight across. Raw sides together, back and forward at the bottom. Just hold everything in place. The zip border, I don't need to measure it because I'm folding it. Put that to there. Sometimes your zip border is a little bit shy, but that's okay. It's usually about 1/8 of an inch. As long as it's not more than that, you'll be okay. Pop that down there, raw sides together, forward and then back. Then to the zip. I always put a cover over and then it just makes everything a little bit stronger. Pop that over, foot up, slide that underneath, raw sides together, forward it over the zip. When I almost get to the other side, I'm going to reverse and then forward to the end. And reverse. Slip that back underneath about 1 inch, the other side of where I had stopped sewing, which is about there. I'm going to sew down. I really want that to be open, so I'll open it now just to remind me where the seam is, and then sew. As I get there, it should be okay because it's over here. Usually if it's going to catch and turn, it's going to be at this point, so it should be fine. Although I will double check as I go through. If I need to, I'll undo it just on that side and do it from the top down to make sure that's open. Now to the end. Cut in like usual. Wind it in if you need to, down. Lift the foot, twist everything into position, and I am going to sew about 1 inch across the bottom here. I'm not going to reverse, I don't need to. Fold that back, it should come more or less to the end there. Pull my zip to that point, only to make sure that none of that slips. Lift the foot right up if necessary. Down, make sure that's even. Perfect. I'm going to reverse first to hold the zip border in place. To there, and then I'm going to just go forward. The start of my sewing was here, and I'm going to just go over about 1 inch. That's done. My seam went in perfectly. I'm really pleased with that. That went in really well as well, and although that was twisted, it didn't get twisted and sewn into place, so that's fine. Now I've just got to match all the corners up with the second side. Folding across that corner, and it doesn't go in quite straight because this is the top, this is the side, and I'm going to slide the new corner into place as evenly as I can. I will be sewing along the top. I'm going to put my pin a little distance down, so if I need to alter it I can. like that. And then I'm going to go to my next corner, which is here. Do exactly the same, fold it along there, make sure it's even. Slot the other top corner into place like that. Bring it down, wheat add, and pin. I'm going to do that on the other two corners. I'm going to start on the border where the zip is, but I'm not going to put the zip in just yet. I'm going to just pop this in about 1.5 inches back here, like that. Move that out and sew towards the corner. Come into the first corner, into the corner, needle down, foot up, line the border and the side like that up together. I have my pin here, so I'm going to just hold on to that, pull the border out, and it looks more or less even, so I did quite well putting it in. Foot down and sew. Keep the raw edges even. As I get closer, I'm going to hold that end there and hold that there like that and guide that over here. And now holding back here at the top, raw edges together. At the top, it's come in quite nicely, so I'm going to remove my pin. That's not going to alter that much by the time I get to the top. Cut in like that towards the corner like I always do. A few more stitches. Wind it in if necessary. Pop it down. Lift it up slightly, otherwise you can't lift your foot. Twist everything into position. Make sure your piping is in line. Drop it down. I'm going to hold that pin there and come to the center, more or less, keeping the border straight and rolling the top on. I might have to keep altering this. It's not that much of a roll, so it's not going to be too bad. And across. Then I'll repeat this on the other side to get the other corners in. I'm coming into the zip border, cut it up there, bring it down to the corner, lift the foot up, turn everything into position like that, and I am just going to sew about 1 inch to 1.5 inches along the bottom there. That should do it. I might need to undo some of those stitches. Now I didn't center it across the bottom, so what I'm going to do is bring that back so it's level, looks about even there. Slide that underneath, a little ways forward of the end. I don't want to be right on the end. Let's hope that comes across. I don't really want to have to redo it if I don't have to. Drop the foot, line everything up like that, and I'm going to reverse first. That should take it off the end, and then forward. It's easier to do it that way than try to force the machine round, because you'll find that the folded fabric more often than not pushed forward unless you've secured it, which is why I'm securing it. And then I'm going to go across. Thank you for joining me on this project. When you put the seats in, make sure that the pile comes forward and down, forward and down. If you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe, hit the bell button, and a few thumbs up would be brilliant. And in the meantime, take care. See you later. Ciao.